Blackburn Rovers, it is Nottingham Forest, that's right. We're hopefully going to kickstart 2020 with a win, but question marks still remain as to where the goals are going to come from. We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. This time looking forward to Nottingham Forest up against Rovers as we kickstart 2020, and hopefully with a win, boys and girls. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe, bang up to date. Rovers Championship, we're all here under Warruski. Anyway, now let's get forward and take a little look at the match in a bit more detail.
So let's take a look at the match in a bit more detail, shall we? It does take place right here at the City Ground. That's right. Nottingham Forest are still managed by Sabri Lamucci. The game does take place on, of course, New Year's Day, January the 1st, 2020. The danger man for me, he might not play though, Joe Lolly. So obviously he's a creative midfield dynamo, should I say, for Forest. Last season they did finish 9th. Their record against Rovers is they played 120 times. They've won 34 games. We've won 53. There's been 33 draws, including the game that took place earlier last season. It was a 2-1 win for Rovers at the City Ground, and we also drew 2-2 at Ewood Park. So this season, obviously, we played earlier back in October, and we'll wrap up the doubleheader right here on New Year's Day. How about the expected starting 11s? Well, first and foremost, we'll take a look at the hosts here. I've gone Samba between 6, Rodriguez at left back, Worrell, Figueroa, who did score last time out, and Cash as a right back. Then we've got Ben Watson, the veteran, Yates also in defensive midfield slots. There's the man Joe Lolly for me, Carvalho on the left, Sammy Obi on the right, and of course the goal-scoring kingpin of the championship, Lewis Graven up top. As for Rovers, we have Wharton between 6. I'm going to go with Williams at left back, Thompson, Adebayo, and Darrell Lenihan at centre back. Bring on Ryan Nyembe back into it to be obviously the right back dynamo. Give Darrell Lenihan the captain's armband and tell Elliot Bennett to take a little bit of a breather and say, you know what? Today you're sitting this one out. Downing at left midfield, Armstrong at right midfield, Johnson and Travis in the midfield, and still going with Gallagher and Graham up top as strikers. That's what we brought him in to do. Maybe you can even consider Ben Brereton, giving him a shot to maybe play up against his old club and cause them kind of problems. But it's just not been that sort of season for him. Been injured. He's had a couple of, at least one cameo, I think, from the bench. Obviously, the Starman did play a little bit on against Huddersfield, but to little to no effect. And I don't think he didn't warrant any recall. And Buckley, obviously, after that, a bit of a shady performance for him, he'll maybe get a spot on the bench. No spot for Rothwell, no spot for Bennett, no spot for Omari Bell as well. They'll have to compete for substitute spots if available. Let's take a look at the statistics there for you. Obviously, Lewis Graben leads the way with 12 goals to his name. He does score at this level. Joe Lolly has 4, and Adoma has 3 goals as well. Ben Watson, the veteran, has 2. As for the discipline, he also leads the way with yellows. Ben Watson with 5, and Ivan in whatever his name is. Ivanildo's get themselves 5 yellows. So's got 5 yellows, and Robinson's got 4. Yates is the one and only red. Obviously, the key man for Rovers is no longer available. Bradley Decarino has 10 goals in all competitions. Armstrong got 6. Graham's got 3 now. Williams has also got 3. As for the discipline, Bennett leads the way with 6 yellows, as does Lenihan. Cunningham has 4, and Williams has 4. And Bradley Decarino has the one and only red card. The transfer window is open there when this game does take place, or it will be open after this. So then maybe, just maybe, Murray will be looking to try and fill that void that Bradley Dack's loss has caused for us. It is of all injured parties to take place. Even I think we would have even managed to do okay with our defence if Lenihan was out. I know that would have been a massive miss as well, but without Dak, there's a massive creative hole that's gone now, and we need to either get these guys up to top level or find someone else to fill that void. Let's take a look at the last few games for Rovers heading into this, and of course Forest. Last time out, Forest did beat Wigan 1-0. They also beat Hull City as well 2-0 at the KCOM. They did also lose to Huddersfield 2-1 away from home, so you never know. They also lost to Sheffield Wednesday as well on the 14th of December and did draw with Middlesbrough as well back at the City Ground. So the last 3 games at home, they've only won the one, but that was against Wigan last time out. Rovers now obviously on an amazing run of form prior to the defeat, but when you look at the grand scheme of things, they've only won once at the past 5, and that was a win against Bristol City away from home. So last time out, losing to Huddersfield, drawing against Birmingham City and Wigan at home, obviously the win against Bristol, and then also the draw against Swansea City away. So yeah. Are we inside? Are we up? Or are we expected to see the Rovers of a Sunday night or Sunday afternoon that took place against Huddersfield, or are we going to see the ones that took place against Bristol City away from home? That's the ones that we want to see, but that's the performance that needs to happen, is one of those. Carbon copy of that would be absolutely great, and then maybe, just maybe, we can reignite the belief within the fans, because the belief in the fans has been taking a nosedive because of the loss of Bradley Dack and the importance that he is to this squad. We were always flirting with this danger that we would lose Dak in the transfer window, and then we'd have a lot of money coming in to try and find someone else to do that job. But now we've got him here. He is injured. We need to find the replacement, or we need to find someone that's going to do what he does, or replicate the goals elsewhere. As I look at the last 5 games or 6 games between two sides of us, home and away, of course, taking a look at Forest home form here. They've won once actually twice at the past 6 of their away games. They also lost to Wednesday, Cardiff and Hull at home. They've also picked up a draw against Middlesbrough. They did beat Derby as well in that all-important Derby. As for Rovers away form, 2 wins out of the past 6. It's not bad. 3 defeats, though, losing to Preston and Leeds. And of course, Huddersfield last time out, we did draw with Swansea at the Liberty as well, beating Stoke and Bristol City as well. So the most recent form away from home for Rovers is not bad, just the 1 defeat of the past 4. As for Nottingham Forest's last 4 home games, is 1 win out of the past 4. So, it's... But realistically, I would favour a Nottingham Forest, or if I was a betting man, of course, I would go with Nottingham Forest on this one, because I think we just lack the quality. Let's take a look at the form table now. Obviously, Middlesbrough are actually on fire at the moment. 13 out of the possible 18 points of the last 6 games for Middlesbrough. Reading doing bits as well, up to 2nd in the form table, winning the last 3 games. Rovers have dripped down to 11th. Now in the form table, picking up just 9 out of the possible 18 points. Forest, though, just 1 point less, actually, 13th in the table. But they are back-to-back wins for them recently. Rovers just the 1 defeat of the past 6, though, but a lot of draws in there, which is not what you want to see. The last 6 home games, though, Rovers are up to 3rd still, unbeaten in at least 6. Forest, on the flip side, they're down to 20th at the moment, 2 wins at the past 6. So that is a good sign for Rovers. Nottingham Forest struggling at home, with just the 7 points out of possible 18. As for their way, this is where it counts for Rovers. We are up to 12th at the moment, just 3 games, 3 out of the past 4 unbeaten, but most importantly, losing last time out to Huddersfield. Nottingham Forest, though, they are 3rd away from home, but unfortunately for us, we get them on a home day, so it might work out in our favour. Let's take a look at the grand scheme of things in the next 5 games for both of these sides. Looks like Forest have a more busier schedule than us. I think they have a game in hand on the majority of the table. They're taking on Chelsea, though, in the FA Cup on the 5th of January. Then it's Reading away from home. Forest then take on Luton Town on the 19th of January before taking on Reading in the game in hand back at the City Ground before wrapping up against Brentford at the end of the month. Rovers taking on their fellow, or their most recent opposition, or one of the most recent opposition, Birmingham City once again, this time back at St Andrews. After that, it's a bit of a derby up against Preston North End at Ewood Park on the 11th of Jan. Then we take on Sheffield Wednesday 18th of January before taking on QPR back at Ewood Park. We'll wrap up the 5-game stretch up against Middlesbrough on form at the moment, 1st of Feb. Let's take a look at the last 6 games between Rovers against Forest in all competitions and all grounds. And early in the season, it was a 1-1 draw. A goal by Adam Armstrong was quickly gobbled up by Joe Lolly. Before that, though, last time out was a 2-1 victory for Rovers at the City Ground, where we took a 2-goal lead on that one. Elliot Bennett, big fat OG, gave Forest a bit of hope on it. But we're actually unbeaten in 6 games against Forest. In all competitions, in all venues. Sam Gallagher likes a goal as well, as does Danny Graham. And Adam Armstrong. So we got to go with the boys. We got to play Armstrong. We got to play Danny Graham. It looks like it. Even Joe Rothwell scored against Forest. So maybe, just maybe, this could be a game that looks to be too big for us to get a result again, and maybe we'll pull a fast one and get ourselves back into contention. So the last 6, 0 wins for Forest, 3 draws, and 3 wins for Rovers. The last 6, though, at the City Ground is also not too bad reading for Rovers. 3 wins, 2 draws, and the 1 defeat. That 1 defeat was back in 2014. It was a 4-1 loss with Henry Lansbury with a double, Jimmy Patson and Andy Reid on the score sheet. Ben Marshall was the one and only goal for Rovers on that occasion. But we've picked up victories on 3 of the past 4 occasions. And the other occasion was a draw, so not too shabby indeed. Take a look at the strengths and weaknesses for both sides heading into this. Forest are good on counter-attacks, creating scoring chances and protecting a lead. They're also pretty shoddy at defending against skillful players and aerial duels, and also avoiding the offside trap. Their style of play is crossing the ball often, especially down the left-hand side, taking long shots and taking a lot of long shots as well. Playing in their own half and also being non-aggressive. Rovers' strengths creating long shot opportunities, defending set pieces. Their weaknesses, though, avoiding offside trap and protecting the lead. Our style of players going through the middle, rotating their first 11, and also non-aggressive. The forecast says there will be a low number of cards shown in this match. Let's take a look at some of the statistics now relating to Nottingham Forest on this one. They prefer to, as I said, go down the left-hand side with 40% of all attacking touches coming down that left-hand side, 37% on the right, 42% within the middle third. As for the shots, though, 66% come through the middle, 49% within the 18-yard box, 44% on the outside of the 18-yard box. As for the shots received, 63% through the middle, 55% within the 18-yard box, and 38% of the shots, percent of all shots, coming from outside the box as well. As for the goals have come 18 through open play, 9 from set pieces, 3 from counter-attacks, and 1 penalty. Goals scored against Forest, 13 from open play, 8 set pieces, 1 counter-attack, and 1 penalty as well. So penalties are very frequent when involved with Forest. As for positional statistics for Rovers, just a reminder, 70% of all our shots come through the middle, with 61% within the 18-yard box. As for shots received, 61% through the middle, 52% within the 18-yard box. We do prefer to go down the right-hand side. I think with Nyambe in the field, that's more likely because he does bomb up and down the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, it's Downing, Williams, or Bell, and they're not as explosive or as I don't know what the word is, ballsy as Nyambe is on the right side. His confidence is growing, but yeah, with only one recognised right back on the field, we've got to kind of nurse him a little bit and not overplay him and burn him out. 41% of all our shots take place or action zones are in the middle third. As for shot or goals, 20 through open play, 7 through set pieces, 3 penalties and 2 OGs. Goals conceded, 21 through open play, 5 set pieces, 4 penalties and 1 big fat OG. Now let's take a look at the top teams out in the Championship. Leeds still lead the way with, on average, 59.7% possession. Fulham on second now, 59.5%, with Brentford, West Brom and QPR in the top 5. Barnsley are still the most aggressive side with 63 yellows, 1 red. Wigan are second, Borough third, Sheffield Wednesday and Charlton are 4th and 5th. Aerial duels won. West Brom lead the way with 56% of all aerial duels won on average. Birmingham second, Millwall third, Reading 4th and Cardiff are 5th. Leeds lead the way with shots per game on average 16.4 shots per match. Barnsley 14.2, same as Brentford. Sheffield Wednesday and Fulham are joint third, I'd say, with 13.7 shots per game on average. Pass accuracy, Fulham still leads the way quite convincingly. 85.2% of all passes reach their intended target. West Brom second, leads third, Brentford 4th, and Swansea are in 5th. Ploughing on forward, let's take a look at the games that are going to take place this weekend out in the Championship, or this New Year's Day. Millwall entertain Luton in a bit of an old London affair. QPR taking on Cardiff, also down in London. Preston got a tricky game up against form team Middlesbrough. Nottingham Forest, though, up against Blackburn. The game of the New Year, the game of the year, right there. Birmingham City, though, taking on Wigan. Must have been game for both of those sides. Huddersfield against Stoke, 2 teams battling for relegation and maybe on the search. Sheffield Wednesday are taking on Hull City, 2 teams potentially looking at playoffs at the moment. Bristol City up against Brentford, 2 teams also looking for a win. Obviously, Bristol City did pick up a win against Luton. Brentford defeat last time out. Fulham against Reading, another team that are on form. Reading are looking to get themselves further up the table. West Brom against Leeds. Look at that bad boy. That's a bit of a tasty one. Top 2 duking it out for overall control of the division. Derby against Barnsley and Swansea against Charlton. Those 2 games taking place on Thursday, the 2nd of the new year. This is the table as it stands. Leeds and West Brom are both level, 51 points, and they'll duke it out on New Year's Day. Fulham, Brentford, Forest, and Sheffield Wednesday occupy the top 6. Barnsley, Luton, and Wigan going down at the moment. Stoke are just above it on a goal difference, taking on Huddersfield this weekend. So Forest come into this 5th. Rovers are in 13th. A win, though, for Rovers potentially could go up to 6th in the table, and then all will be forgiven, and we'll be happy as Larry, and we'll start the new year in a 6th spot. But well, obviously goals difference and all that kind of good stuff will have a major effect on this one, and if Rovers can pick up the victory, it'll be a massive surprise, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get some of the Mowbray haters off his back, and then get us pushing in the right direction, because the transfer window opens up, folks, and hopefully there's some money in the coffers for us to bring in a creative replacement in midfield, because losing a key man as Dak surely surely the gaffer's thinking about bringing in somebody else.
That's pretty much all we got for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. If you're new, smash the subscribe. Luna, you smash the subscribe? You better have smashed the subscribe. Anyway, folks, we'll be back very, very soon with another video. Again, still on our travels. Hopefully we'll be back to normal in the next few days. And hopefully the next time you'll see me, we'll be celebrating the first win of the year, the decade, and all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, until then, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.